right. Today I wanted to touch on some thoughts surrounding self belief, purpose, and this rather pervasive habit we have of doubting ourselves. It seems to me that human beings spend an inordinate amount of time wrestling with phantoms of their own making. We often speak of purpose as though it were something that you could find, like as if you had lost your set of keys. Purpose is something that we create, something that emerges actually quite naturally when we stop trying so hard to be something we think we should be and instead become more fully what we are. Now, this requires a little bit of daring on our behalf. It requires us to experiment and to play or to relearn how to play and to embrace uncertainty. And that is where our journey will begin. I'll start with the power of experimentation and embracing a generalist mindset. So we've been trained to believe that life is a straight path, a single linear track with a clear destination. But I don't think life is like a train ride. It is more a dance or a symphony, an improvisation, if you like. And so we must experiment, gain myriad influences, and spin them into the garment of character that you display for all the world to see. Robert Greene shares a good insight that experimenting with the skills and options related to your personality and inclinations is not only the single most essential step in developing a high sense of purpose, but it's perhaps the most important step in life in general. So consider for a moment children, completely enthralled by the sheer wonder of existence and all their senses can offer them. Kids don't fret about purpose. They explore, they play, and they delight in every discovery they've made. Why? Because everything is new to them. Everything is an unfolding mystery. Everything is huge and exciting until something unfortunate happens. We grow up, and as we grow, we tend to become more rigid and complacent. We convince ourselves that we have figured most things out, and the moment we believe we have learned all there is to learn, we begin to lose that wonder and begin our descent into stagnation and ultimately wither into a listless husk. But you can deter this decline into despair by challenging yourself and reconsidering yourself not just a vapid know-it-all, but a student. And this transformation is never an easy task because learning, true learning, is never actually comfortable. Even the most naturally gifted among us must endure the awkwardness of being a beginner. All the great masters were once a total noob and fumbled with their tools. And this is where we encounter the ever-looming specter of what I wish to touch on next, which is imposter syndrome. Understanding and overcoming imposter syndrome. Now, imposter syndrome is kind of an interesting paradox that others believe in you. You do not believe in yourself, yet you trust your self-doubt more than their confidence. And so I ask you, you are the sort of person who questions your own judgment, then why do you not also question your judgment in yourself? If you doubt yourself, wouldn't you also doubt your judgment of yourself, accepting other people's confidence in you? When multiple people believe in you, it might be time to believe them. At what point, I wonders, do you finally surrender to the evidence? I've struggled with this my whole life, as most people have. I can't remember where I heard this, but it's always stuck with me. How many times can you get called a horse before you go buy a saddle? See, the problem with imposter syndrome is not that it's wrong. It is that it is entirely beside the point. It assumes that there is a final, absolute version of success, and that you have somehow snuck into the temple of the enlightened ones without an invitation. But here's the great secret. There is no final version. Everyone, yes, everyone, is just making it up as they go along. And this will tie into our next revelation, reframing uncertainty as growth. There is a marvelous little trick that the mind will play on you. It'll whisper to you that, hey, you're feeling uncertain right now. Therefore, you must be failing. But what if instead we understood uncertainty as signpost or a landmark, evidence that you are stepping beyond the familiar and stretching yourself into something new? Again, from Robert Greene, doubting yourself doesn't always mean that you're going to fail. It often means you're facing a new challenge and you're going to learn. Feeling uncertainty is a precursor to growth. So let's consider this. Every great adventure begins in the unknown. Every skill, every craft, every worthwhile endeavor begins with a fumbling first step. Think back to your first day on a new job. You knew nothing. You stumbled. Perhaps you made a complete ass of yourself. But in time, what once seemed like a daunting task became second nature. And so it goes over and over again. We are meant to be uncomfortable. Growth demands it. If you wish to attain something meaningful, you must be willing to step beyond the safety of the known, which will always prove to be incredibly difficult. But if you ever feel truly lost, there always remains one sure path forward, one tried and true means of gaining momentum or even just setting things in motion. And that is pursuing overall self-improvement as a path to purpose. If you do not know what to pursue, then simply pursue yourself. Strive for health in whatever form that means to you. Strive for happiness, however you choose to define that. Seek healing in ways that you know you need it, becoming more present, becoming aware, becoming awakened, engaging in mindfulness practices. And if you do this, if you devote yourself to refining the instrument that is you, then purpose will not need to be found. It will reveal itself, and quite effortless, as a byproduct of your own unfolding. Because, you see, purpose is not something we reach. It's something we embody. So, key takeaways and some actionable strategies. Experiment and explore. Do not seek a single path. Try everything. Let curiosity be your compass. Challenge your negative self-perceptions, for the voice of doubt is often the voice of illusion. So try to put some trust in those who truly see you for you and who can truly see your light. Embrace uncertainty. The unknown is not your enemy. It is a gateway to all possibility. And prioritize self-improvement. When you refine yourself, the right path will arise naturally. And just one final thought. We have been conditioned to fear self-doubt, but self-doubt is like a shadow cast by the sun. It's simply proof that light exists in the first place. To doubt is to question, and to question is to grow. So let us not be afraid to dance with uncertainty, to laugh at your own imposter syndrome, and treat life not as some complicated riddle that you need to solve, but as a great unfolding work of art that we all participate in creating together. And in that space, somewhere between the known and the unknown, I think we may just find that we have always been exactly where we were meant to be, right here. Thanks.